Welcome back. Today is 4S windshield time. Let's take a look. There we have the TUSK universal windshield setup. $74.99. Give you a closer look. This is where I have mine mounted. They do tell you in the instructions you want to initially start with the angle, basically the same angle as the forks. I did not start there. I started with mine straighter up and in a different position, but this is where after 3 trial runs doing 60 to 65 mile an hour, this is the best for me as far as wind buffeting, my helmet, and my height. But I'll show you here where I have it. Mine is outside the headlamp mast. I initially had it behind, and I had the bottom here up about this high. Then I moved it out, but I had it straighter up. Instead of on that angle, I had it about right here. Then my last setup, which works good for me, is angled, like they said, with the forks. Drop down about 2 inches on the outside of the headlamp mask, right here. Now mine is, you can see it's a little bit slightly off level there, just a tad, but that's what I want to show you now. I'm going to point out a couple of things. One thing you want to point out with this windshield, it has these 2 mounting bars here, and I'll kind of dismantle this here and show you a little more in depth. But this windshield does not mount firm. It is mounted on rubber, 2 rubber washers in between these mounting collars here. Now it is mounted solid down here, but I'm going to show you what this windshield will do. It will move and flex on those rubber bushings. They tell you right in the instructions that this gasket, they want it either rested behind something on the headlamp mask or firm against out here on the outside. Otherwise, if you have it out, not touching anything, it's just going to flop around and buffet around when you're going down the road. So keep that in mind if this is something you're thinking about. It has to be firmly against something on the bottom somewhere if you're going to use it. I'll show you the instructions here. Of course, they give you an installation instruction sheet, and then they show you pictures here. I'll try to get this to where you can pause it and look over this really well in depth and check that out. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back here. I will have the windshield basically kind of off of the bike and show you the way that it mounts onto the windshield and the rod going down into the mounting bracket on the bike. So I will get back to you in a minute with that. Okay, I'm going to show you what we got here. Okay, you have this piece right here. This is a separate rubber washer they give you. You slide it on. You take this, goes through the windshield. They give you another rubber washer like this. You finagle that down on. You get that down the best you can. You could use a pick tool to pull this out and get it down on there. Then of course what you have here is you have this collar right there. You take this mounting rod, slide it down in the collar like that, and you put that on. And you tighten this up to get that rubber smashed, And you can see how much play is in this windshield. That's why they want this section with pressure on it, either down and behind something on your headlamp mask or with pressure pushing against it so it doesn't vibrate. Now what I did, I'm going to show you. See all that flop? I took this off, and you could use a number of different things. I took this off, and I have a selection of O-rings here at the shop, so I took this O-ring, I dropped it down in there, I tightened it up, and with that O-ring in there, it still moves on the rubber bushings and with the O-ring, but it took all of that slop out of there. There's none of that flop and slop. That's how, of course, both sides, you do that now. What's strange is this collar has notches to put a 22mm wrench on. For some reason, this collar is perfectly round and smooth and you can't put a wrench on it, so you just have to basically use your hand and tighten it, or you could put some soft grip pliers on there and tighten it. So that's basically your setup. Now I'll take you up here and show you the clamps. These clamps are a clamshell design. This clamp is 2 pieces. You put them around the bar and they will interlock right here at this point. And then you put your bolt through and they will thread into this round machined piece right here, which has the hole for the rod from your windshield to go down through right there. And then there's a set screw on the end that allows you to move that bar up and down and around, and then you tighten the set screw when you decide you have everything in place and where you want it. And of course I have these between my clamps because I can't fit them out here because of my USB port, and also I can't put them right on the outside of my clamps because I have risers, and you see there's a 1/2 inch of space taken up there. And keep in mind, my setup will be different from everybody else's because I'm running bar risers, I run fly helmet, I'm 5'10". All those variables have to be taken into when you're adjusting this windshield to get the buffeting for you personally to feel the best. And also, these clamshell clamps, before you put them on, they give you a piece of rubber, roughly 3 inches long, I would say, by about 3/4 of an inch wide. That goes on first, then you put your clamshell clamps over it. And then this bolt tightens into this machined piece here, so you have to hold this still while you are tightening that up, or have your rods in already from your windshield and then go ahead and tighten those up. But there's infinite possibilities of how you can run this, because you can flip these clamps over, you can have them reverse backwards, so you have all kind of mounting options of how to mount this windshield if you have stuff on your bars. So keep that in mind. It is very universal, as long as you can get it somewhere here resting against something to keep it from buffeting around. So if you guys looking into getting a windshield or want something for doing some adventure work, I hope this video helps you out. Go ahead and grab one of those. They're $75.99 at Rocky Mountain. Like, subscribe, share, get on your bike, get outside.